What's up everyone, welcome back to 85 The Ride. Today we're checking out the aftermarket piggyback Indian shocks. Piggyback meaning they've got the reservoir sitting on top like that. I absolutely love the look of these shocks. Definitely a bit more my style. I've noticed these have become a pretty popular shock. A lot of guys compare these to the Fox shocks, which I haven't had a chance to try out myself, but I have ran Fox shocks in the past on all my off-road vehicles, so dirt bike, quads, things like that. After reading up about what one would suit better, I think these ones take the cake for it, for a couple reasons. The adjustability is very easy on these shocks, so you've got your rebound down the bottom, compression up the top. It's as simple as being off the bike and a simple click. I believe these have 5 clicks either way, top and bottom, to adjust, so plenty of play, which is obviously what you want. It's so easy, just get off the bike, a simple twist, and yeah, you're on your way to getting the ride feeling how you want it to feel. So now I picked up this bike brand new. I already had the shocks put on there, but I have test ridden and ridden a buddy's bike with the stock shocks, and I've got to tell you, like, they're just a horrible shock for a even for a standard shock. So it's definitely something I'd suggest changing right off the bat. I believe these have a little bit of extra travel, meaning you will get a little bit of extra height, though these adjusters up here to adjust your spring, simple as taking the weight off the bike, and if you've got the tool, give them a twist to adjust your ride height. So I'll throw up some old footage of a ride that I went on earlier this year with the New South Wales Indian group. We went in some really rough roads out back. I guess it's a pretty good example of what these shocks can sort of handle. Right, so again, we spent like a day on that road and it was extremely rough. I definitely had a sore back afterwards, only because there was just so many potholes out there, but again, never got bucked off the seat, and for what it was an extremely comfy ride. So I have it super soft when I'm on there. So again, those that are new to the channel, I've had a fusion done on my lower back. My L5S1 is completely fused. I have screws holding those vertebrae together. So comfort is an absolute must for me. So having the aftermarket comforter seat mixed in with these shocks, I can't recommend it enough. I never have any dramas comfort wise, except obviously my back will give out a lot earlier than your average person, but as for just hitting bumps and things on rides, they are an absolute dream to ride with. Again, having something as simple as just a twist makes it really easy when you throw a passenger on the back. I do have a passenger seat for this bike that I take off and on, but as soon as I have a passenger on there, you definitely notice the weight difference, obviously. So I personally turn up the compression all the way up and stops it from bottoming out. Another thing to keep in mind when adjusting these shocks is make sure you adjust both sides at the same time. Otherwise, you're going to have an extremely uncomfortable ride, to say the least. Righto guys, so what we'll do now is we'll jump aboard, we'll go for a little bit of a run up and down this banded haul road, and have a bit of a chat about the bike whilst we're on board. Alrighty guys. So again, I don't know how well you guys can see just how bumpy this road is, but you know, she's pretty rough out here, but man, that suspension, God, it just soaks it up so well. Again, having a back as bad as what I do, this is actually a comfier ride than in my car. So I've got a raised 4-wheel drive. The suspension in that is, you know, super spongy, pretty good on the back, but I'd probably pick this bike over the comfort of a car any day. Oh, see, there we go. We just hit a nice little pothole there and it just soaked it up really good. But yeah, this seat mixed with the suspension, God, it's comfortable. Whew, God, there's some big holes out here. Very sketch road to ride on, but I mean, as an example, she's pretty spot on. It's even times like that where you put the power down, the rear suspension just wants to soak it up. You can feel it soak it up, and even as you give it a little bit more, it's like the seat has layers. It's like you just sort of fall back into the next part of the seat and the next part and so on. It just seems to never run out of cush, so to speak. Everything is so cushiony on this bike, it's crazy.
what suspension you're running down in the comments. I'm curious what everyone thinks. What suspension do you recommend? Now, I wonder what they're doing out here actually. I have a feeling they're going to start using it again or something, because they've opened this ride up. This whole road was overgrown, like the road that we have been riding on. So, alright, so now we've got to go off-road to get out. Again, a good example of how smooth she is off-road. Soaks up the bumps pretty well. I think the last time I was out here would have been on the Honda Rebel. So again, just an example of what this bike can do, especially with these shocks that are on here. How well this comes out in the footage, I don't know, but she's 4B track, so she's pretty rough. Flick up the foot pegs. Look at that, eh? Easy as. That's what it looks like when you take a on-road motorcycle off-road. So for long distance and stuff, again, with my back being the way it is, I really can't last any more than, you know, a few hours on the bike anyway. But once you upgrade to this suspension, it becomes a bike that I would absolutely say you can travel off-road for long distance on. I mean, obviously, if you're running the stock shocks, it'd be a straight up no-go from me. That's where you're looking at getting a stepping up to the Indian Chief or something that's a little bit more suited, obviously, for long distance rides and things like that. But I believe if you're a little bit smaller, a little bit more on the light side, you might not find the stock shocks so bad. Comment below and let me know if you do run the stock shocks and you don't find them so bad. But man, on a road like this, absolute bliss. The grip, the way these tyres stick, mixed with the suspension, and again, when you put that power down, the way the shocks absorb and just want to bite into the road, it's so sticky and so grippy. Man, I just absolutely love the feel. Alright guys, well that about does it for the video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe and share. Subscribing is free, liking is free, commenting is free, everything's free. It means the world to me. It just helps out a massive deal with the algorithm and everything like that. I know I'll hound you guys a little bit at the end of every video, but I can't thank you enough. You guys that do put in the effort just for a simple like. Those of you that do subscribe, again, it just means the world to me. Jump onto our merch store, keep a lookout. There is some major announcements coming in the following weeks. I'm so excited, probably the biggest announcements we've had yet. Multiple things incoming before the end of the year, so exciting times everyone. Thanks for the support. It really has been unreal lately. We're just slowly rising, so thanks again for the video guys. Cheers.